Good morning. This is Tara Lee Live. Hello, and this is the morning sesh. We are on episode number 14. I'm here with my co-host Drake. As always, how are you, Drake?
Hello, Tara, and everyone's tuning in. Make sure you're on live chat, not top chat, and give a big thumbs up. Hit that like. But it's been a great morning. I've had a friend come by and had some chatting about the gardens and what's been going on, and we spoke about some different cultivars and this crazy heat we've been having. But it was a good start, but it set us back a little bit. So my apologies, everyone. It was kind of out there.
Yeah, holy moly, this heat, isn't it? We got a lot more to do in the morning, trying to get out there before the heat hits us and get our plants watered for the day, and also our animals. My gosh, I hope you all have, if you have animals out there, I hope they're well watered and have some shade, because we are in record temperatures here in Washington State. What did we actually hit yesterday? What did you actually hit, Drake, up there in Canada?
Mine are just tap watered. But they I think we got to like 100 and something over 110. It was 46 degrees Celsius, I believe.
I want to say it was like I want to say it was like 115, but on our patio, I have one of those little thermostat things.
Yeah, 114.8.
And it was 120 on our patio.
That's too hot.
Crazy. It was crazy. But I'm ready to get the bake on. How are you all doing out there? Welcome, Gingerbug in the house. Big old Lombardi. We got Claude tuning in. Hello, hello. How are you all? Let's take a dab. I am going to go in on, let's see, what did I grab? We're going on Tangy. That's the one I grabbed.
I grabbed some Ghost Train Haze.
There is the terpene profile. You'll be able to see here in a minute. Give it just a minute. We have D-limonene, which is the first one on this one. Normally it's beta-caryophyllene. And we got beta-caryophyllene. The second one, linalool, alpha-humulene, and beta-pinene on this one with a 74.08, I think, percent. Their total. And this is what it looks like. It smells pretty good. There we go.
That looks nice.
Yeah. Welcome, Stu. How are you this morning? Let's hit this.
How's everyone's plants and garden doing outside? Speaking of all this heat, is everyone doing good? Are you all right? Is everyone out there 2 or 3 times a day watering, or do you have a system where you don't necessarily need to water as much still? You've been having fun experimenting with that around here, the different systems and which ones require what.
What are you all smoking on with us today? We would like to know.
Always want to know that. And what you're growing.
Up and strong. We're supposed to have a couple of people pop in. We're not sure if they're coming by or not, but we are going to have a short little sesh today with y'all. I am headed to go meet a friend. We are going to go out in the lake today. We're going to be out on some pontoons, driving over, meeting up over, and I think it's called Lake Clealum, I think. And I don't know that I've ever been to Lake Clealum before, so it might be a first. I don't know if we're going to go live or not from there. When my girlfriend Cassie, first time we're meeting up, it'll be really fun.
It'll probably be too hot. I tried during the meeting yesterday. I went to go outside and discuss a couple of the things that were going on out there, and my phone just shut off due to overheating.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it just from being on.
That's crazy.
That's when you know it's far too hot.
Cheers, Ahmed. Cheers, everyone. How you doing?
Dabs up.
Woo-hoo-hoo. What else is a good one? Woo-hoo-hoo.
We don't always dab in sync, but when we do, we both have to cough for a notable time afterwards.
Yeah, that was a hot one.
Whew. Me too, but I want more. I see a little more in there. Oh, that was nice. See if I can fight back the pain. Keep going. See if I can check out what everyone else is puffing on, huh? Oh my goodness, I can hear me. That's never good. That is never good. Dabbing LA Confidential butter. Nice. I want some LA Confidential. That sounds good. Our vines are handling the heat well. I've got some Virginia Creeper that are doing surprisingly well. Also, so I believe you. With some of the beds with all the companion plants growing with them and kind of like the Hugel kind of foundational style, they're not asking for much water either overall through the whole back garden back there, which is really neat to see in this 45-degree weather plus. Cheers, Stu.
You know, I kind of wonder if doing that Jadon foundation that we started off at the beginning of the year, if that doesn't help prepare the beds to keep them so they'll be more saturated and keep the hydration.
I don't know about the whole, well, actually, I could assume and see how it would correlate to actually having more potential to hold more saturation, but definitely with all the microbial diversity we're inputting, there's going to be ones, and from our different JMSs, our microbial solutions we make at different temperatures from the outdoor temperature changing, we're going to be adding microbes that thrive in kind of different areas and ranges. So even when it gets super hot like this, we're just going to have those microbes that have just been waiting, that are like, this is the moment I've been waiting for to get out and do the work for the plants as well. So I think there's a few facets that we hit it with, but there's also a lot of steps to follow in a certain process to be able to do it properly. So, but finding lots helps.
And we were wondering today, we thought we'd tune in with chat and see what type of grow style you all are growing, if you could let us know. And if you have any questions today for us, Drake and I are working on Jadon, and we're liking it, I think. Drake, how are you feeling about it?
I feel like Gingerbug's right, and we are in a pressure cooker. That's pretty much what we are living. But no, I am loving it. It's a blast. The results are just unbelievable. I just shared a couple of my happy plants in the garden. They're not the largest ones by any means, or even necessarily the happiest, but it's just the way they were at the time I looked at them. I just need to get a picture and throw them up there. But I was scared the leaves are going to shoot off into space. And this is again in like 42-degree plus temperature, and I'm watering these plants once a week, and that's because that's when we do our microbial application. Other than that, they're not really getting any supplemental or asking for any additional water. So it's definitely been neat to see firsthand. And I can't wait to see it. We're doing it at the farm as well. Just a little bit more base, a little more rudimentary. We're not going as deep into it because there's a few different levels, whereas here we're able to take it to kind of as far as you could go. For next season, we're going to really try to hammer everything out just to see a good rendition of it in this climate and this side of the world. But yeah, we're getting a good understanding of it, and that's my very long-winded way to say I enjoy it.
Awesomeness. I just went blank. I was gonna tell y'all something.
I got some more seeds this morning that were gifted to me, so I can.
Oh yeah, let's talk about those seeds you were just gifted, Drake.
And again, I know very little about them other than when I just kind of looked into them. But they're called Sky Cuddler Kush. They're a Mean Gene project, and I believe the seeds were purchased from him. Then it was worked down one more time, so there's now a F2 from what those original beans were, but I think his are F3 originally. I think it's worked fairly well. But anyways, I think it's a F3 that's been then worked by another individual and passed along. So I didn't know anything about him. I looked him up. I learned that minor backstory. They will apparently do quite well in this area, in this climate. We're in the Okanagan, the Pacific Northwest. We have the September and October rains, and we don't generally get flipping into flower until mid-August. So if you do the math, it doesn't work out too well. So we'll have to try them out next season, most likely, and maybe I'll have some things go on throughout the winter seasons in preparation. work on it a little bit. But yeah, that was exciting. Out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
Out of the
Out
blue.
of the blue.
I was
Cool. I
blown
love when things
away.
happen out of the blue. Time for another dab, I think. That was my first dab. I need another dab. The dabs are amazing, but it's like I'll have to say the mushrooms have definitely helped me out. I would say as far as medicating. And I am on no more medications. Someone asked me the other day if I was taking any medications, and I'm super happy to be off all meds other than my cannabis and mushrooms.
Well, congratulations. I will dab up to that.
And I would like to say hello to Mark. Mark just popped into chat. I hope you're doing good, Mark. We're going to puff some good vibes to you out there today. And also Amber. Amber, how are you, girl? I haven't seen you forever. I hope you're doing well, too. I know you guys are both struggling with your own health problems out there, and we're going to send some good vibes both your way. Let's do this. We're all going to send you some good vibes. And Claude, that Chair Noble sounds amazing. I want that. Because definitely about the head high. I love it.
I am
Love
with you
it,
there.
love it, love it.
Right, time to jump in on some gelato this time. We'll hit the gelato and we'll see, but already feeling pretty cross-eyed, so who knows what'll happen after this one.
Oh, and so I'm curious if y'all know differences between butane. Like, I know it's important, like when obviously you're blasting, which I don't blast, which I don't recommend, and which it's gross, but like there's different qualities and different clarities and how things are processed. And I bought like 4 different kinds this last time, and I'm gonna try each one out and see how they burn. Jake was telling me that some burn hotter, and some of them are mixed with different other type of alcohols or something like that. I think it was. Drake, I'll let you talk as soon as you're done dabbing there.
Well, we'll see. It's a pretty good sized one. It might take me a minute or two, but I could probably multitask.
Oh, that's okay. Finish that dab. Cheers, everybody. Hey, Matt, how are you doing? What's up, Sess? Kess. Now, Drake's got me saying Sess. Kess, how you doing out there? Cheers, everybody. Puff strong.
Yeah, with the canned butane, there's variants with most companies, I would say. And there can be different, to keep it simple, say there could be a propane blend with your butane as a propellant. With the industry, the last, not necessarily the last couple of years here, but the 15 years prior and longer, there was a lot of unsafe, what we'll call open blasting. So just blasting your cannabis with cans of butane, and that just leads into all sorts of issues, or it can. It can be done as well as like lots of processes can be done in like a rudimentary way if you're cautious enough. It's definitely not advised, it's dangerous, and it's most likely not given the best product. But anyways, some of these gases in turn can be just refined butanes, and they're kind of more designed for people to be able to use to do these extractions, these crude extractions with, whereas you'd want to use like a closed loop system, it's called, which is just kind of an end-to-end system. All your solvent will be contained. You'll be using, say, if you're using butane, you'd use like lab grade pharmaceutical, kind of a different standard than what we're going to be getting from what Tara's got or what I've got here. Very common brand, but even on here, this one says for filling up your lighters, because it's mixed with
well,
a couple things, I believe.
It's like we got 5, and then we got 7, and then we got 11, and then we got, I don't know, ultimate. So like, I don't really, like when you go in and buy these, they're all the same price. I had them all the same price. None of them were any different. You would think like this should be more expensive if it's really that much better. And I got them at the tobacco shop. Like we have a tobacco shop here in town that sells alcohol, and it's like a quick shop. They're literally like $3. That's the cheapest I've ever seen them. Like two something. Like that was crazy. Normally I pay like $6 or $7 up at this other store. What are you guys paying for butane? I'm curious out there. And also, I order it on Amazon every now and then, and I don't think it's very good on Amazon.
I know I'm buying lots of butane to fill up the torch. That's for sure. So I'm still buying lots. And usually it was like to buy a case of butane, it would be like here in Canadian, so our prices are different, but it'd be like you get them for $7 if you bought like a case of 12. Whereas I think they're like, I can't remember because I never really bought single cans too much, but they're a fair amount more expensive. But yeah, I can't actually speak to
Well, $3 for a single can?
That sounds very cheap. Just
I was buying them by the case and they were more than that.
That's what I was used to as well. But again, it's been a while since
I don't want to tell them they have the cheapest price in town. They'll probably raise it on me.
They might just.
Keeper of the strain says dabs are a pain in the ass. You know what? I don't think they are in a way. They're inconvenient to travel with a torch and to have your glass with you. Like if you're a joint smoker, obviously that's the easiest. But, you're still there rolling. If you're a joint smoker, you still got to sit there and roll your paper. And, it takes a little time. And, cleaning my banger, it's kind of a little process. It's kind of like almost a little ritual you almost kind of get into. And I don't know, it's like a habit.
Very ritualistic. That's
yeah.
Sure. Especially when you start getting into these crazy rigs and bangers and attachments. There's a lot. We've got a lot of doohickeys to play with if we want to, and they can get quite expensive. So we do treat it as kind of a ritual. So I understand that. And as you're saying, though, sometimes, some people they like to use their scissors and chop slow and go through and roll their doobie each time. And that's, that's to your own, and other people.
It's soothing. I think people rolling their doobies, like sitting there rolling, it seems like they're really kind of soothing, and it's really kind of just this thing, and you get into this routine, and it, I don't know. It's kind of cool. I like to watch people roll joints. I don't roll joints. I try, but I don't smoke them, so I don't need to roll them.
Hot things to burn yourself with. That's always fun.
But I will say I am going to probably get me one of those Puffco Peaks, which those are definitely convenient. Puffco Peak is definitely a bigger dabber than that mini one that I have. I have that mini Vista Mini, I think they call it. It's a micro dabber, I call it. Micro dabber, like micro dabber. And then I call the Puffco Peak what did I call it? It was just a regular dabber, a small dabber, because you still can't take as big a dabs in the Puffco Peak as you would in a big banger. Like it's still, you got to really be careful with overloading those things, because when you overload them, they overflow, they get all gunky, then you got to wash them more. So, but I am probably going to be buying one. I know a couple of my friends have one, and I have puffed off them. Puffco. Yeah.
Those Yokans are solid dab. I've got one of those as well. Somehow it managed to shift itself into a DMT pen in the last few seasons here, but it's a very good pen nonetheless. It's been around for years, and multifaceted. But I didn't have the big, the battery modification. I was thinking about that because if you're a heavy puffer and you go out for a few hours, you could definitely crush through the regular battery pretty quick.
Make sure you have it on live chat, you guys, today. If you're tuning in, just remember. I wish they would take that top chat off because I could step on it every now and then I lose comments and feel bad because I didn't talk to y'all. So is there any questions for us today in chat about any Jadam questions or anything? Drake, we need to find that Discord link and put that in chat too. You know how to do that?
Is your headphones coming in, or is your microphone coming in through your headphones? It's an odd question and probably not, but something made me think of that. And the link for the Discord.
Why is it not coming in very good? Is my mic not coming in good? Is it too loud? Am I too loud?
You sound pretty good. I'm thinking it's the speakers on my end, so don't you worry. I just wanted to double check just in case.
Am I too loud? I could bring my mic down.
You are not. I'm also getting ready for the next dab. It's already loaded up of the Ghost Train Haze. So I'm ready to go in on the third installation of the trifecta.
Roll and join is all part of the medical treatment of treating your illness. It's mind, body, and soul. Exactly, Mark. Exactly right. I think every little ritual that you find soothing or that you find, yourself relaxing, I think anything like that, even just a shower in the morning, is super relaxing to me. I look forward to my morning showers, let me tell you. Or hot tub soaks.
I'm less familiar on the Discord platform via the phone, so I have given up and I'm now taking a dab. It is taken priority over the link.
Let me try and find the link and get that on for you guys. Because Drake apparently gave up. Mr. Watson in the house? What? Welcome. Suppose I should learn how to do this. Invite members. Share link. Here we go.
Cheers, everyone.
Copy. How come it's just not as simple as copy? There we go. And now we'll go back to YouTube chat. We're a little slow. Tara doesn't do all this on a computer. Okay, here we go. There is our Discord link. Finally, we have it in chat. So if y'all have a Discord, you could come join that. We will be there and we will be able to answer your questions on a more regular. We're going to be having all kinds of information in there. We've got some cool people we've been working with Jadam. We're actually in communications through friends with Master Cho and the family. We actually get questions answered. So it's pretty awesome that we get to do this, I think, Drake, and we have this going on in the world today. I think being able to communicate like this is pretty awesome. The knowledge that is out there and that we're able to share firsthand now through people around the world is just, oh, wow, I'm loving it. I love it. Welcome, Sunground. How are you? Hope you're having an amazing day today. I hope all you guys are having an amazing day today because I am ready to have an amazing day. It's already started off.
Great so far on my end.
As I say, it's already started off awesome.
Days are always growing great over here.
Yes, it is. Oh, gosh. Lucky to have all you guys with me to help me grow and hang out. Oh, I am taking a whole bunch of plants down to Oregon, by the way. And I'm going to be meeting up with Red River.
Yeah.
Red River and I are going to be meeting up. But we're going to be making some hash, y'all. I'm going to be making some bubble hash. Finally. And I have my freeze dryer to dry it in. I'm super excited. Oh, my gosh. That's next week. What else do we have going on? I'm trying to think. There was something else. Oh, and I'm going to be going to a farm up in Bellingham. One of my friends, Kenny. I'm going to be headed up there, and we're going to be doing a farm up there. So you guys are going to get to do a tour of a big cannabis farm. I'm super excited to go do that. Am I coming in too loud? Are we okay?
You're great.
Did we figure out your speakers, or was it me?
I have accepted. Everything is golden.
Okay.
And moved along.
How does it sound in chat? I would like to know in chat. Maybe
that's what's important, but I bet it sounds fantastic.
Because I did change my room around a little bit, so it is a little different. So yes.
And on the plus, it looks like the puppy is doing better. His little wound on his foot is getting going in the right direction. It was kind of staying stagnant for a while, and we were worried about infection, but now it's looking great. So we're taking him in again at 11:30 today to see how it's come along since Friday. And we'll update the next show. But he's got all his spunk back, almost too much. It's good.
Little spunker. Morning, Sammy.
Recently, we changed the not changed, but added some inputs to the fertilizers, some of our ferments. We added in a couple more ferments, and we changed the proportions of the fish. We're slowly ramping it up, and the plants loved it. They are just reaching. All of them are super happy because that was done yesterday. So excited about that.
So apparently I sound good, but you not so much.
That's believable because you've been giving me crap about my mic not being properly there.
We gotta step that up, man. Oh, I know what I was gonna show y'all. So check these out. I've had ice cream sandwiches sitting here next to me. Look at, they're not melting. These are freeze dried. My husband froze dried these. Look at that, ice cream sandwiches. Isn't that crazy?
They look so cool too.
Yeah. So they just like crumble apart though. They like turn into powder. You got to be really careful with them. And it's like powdery
and then does it instantly just saturate in your mouth, I imagine?
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Cool.
Pretty good. I don't want any sweets right now, or I would have one and show you. I was just like, I'll have to do one. We'll have to do taste tests on a live. You know, it'd be fun is to send like a take care package out to everybody that if they wanted to taste some freeze dried stuff. We should do that. That would be fun if people were interested in that. We could do like a, you know, if you guys paid for the shipping, we could do like a care package thing or something maybe. Because we do sell freeze dryers. My husband sells freeze dryers, our business, and we are going to be doing quite a bit of that, I guess. There's some people looking at some, so yeah, going to be interesting. And we're going to be doing a lot of food, a lot of veggies from the garden. I'm super excited. I want to do like zucchinis, and I want to do like, I don't know, potatoes, and have like the stuff lasts for 20 years. So you guys could just have it like, you can literally have it in a jar and just start throwing stuff in like soups and make soups with all this freeze dried stuff. I just think it sounds amazing. Pretty excited.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And as well, does your brew there, Dab? That sounds great. A little male plant. That's what you said, right? Male plant tea. That's sweet. Plants always love what the plant can provide for itself.
Exactly.
Been doing that lots too, spicing up lots of our microbial solutions and our additional fertilizers with some of the crop residuals from our cannabis plants, specifically for the inputs that are going back into them. And it always just adds a little bit extra something, a little bit more of that natural or microbiome of its own unique proportion. And there we go, filling up. I think I'm going to fill up too. It's never a bad idea. It was feeling a little bit.
Up.
I'm not used to the.
Wait a minute, and then we will have another dab. I was just gonna bump it because I still have some dab in here. I hate wasting dabs.
You can't be wasting. Gotta go on that reheat.
Yeah. Welcome, Stillbird. How are you this morning? Cheech it, happy wake and bake. Hell yeah. Let's do this. Although you're supposed to let this like cool down for like 10 minutes in between times. Do as I say, not as I do. You'll ruin your torch.
Yeah, I have skipped that step pretty well every time, unfortunately. I was like, when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, forgot about that. But so far it's not leaking on me, so knock on wood. I'm sure it'll happen soon now. But the clicker is the one that generally goes first for me. Don't get too much more than like a year and a half of use before the clicker starts to bug out. But I have seen a few been fixed, so maybe I'll have to MacGyver it.
Nice. Dab's loaded up on some mycelium. Big loads of wood chips. Nice.
Speaking of, you got that awesome dump of wood chips and wood in general, right? So that's cool.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I was lucky enough, you guys, if you happen to hear somebody cutting down trees in your area, or if there's a person that cuts down trees, arborists, what do you call people? Or just landscape people, tree cutters? I don't know. Those people. There was people over here cutting down trees. There was some bugs in them. There was infestation. That's one thing you will have to be careful of if you do this. I just went over there and asked them what they were doing with all the wood chippings and the big logs. And they're like, hey, if you want them, you can have them. And I said, yeah. So they brought them on over, and I got this big pile of wood chippings and these logs. Now they have had some infestation, but I'll be able to use them in my garden. I'm super excited because I live in the desert. I don't live around like forest areas. I don't get to go get logs and trees whenever I, need them or anything. I have like only what 2 trees on my whole property now, 3, 4, okay, maybe 5 trees on the whole property. Well, not including all my bushes, but I do live in the desert, and trees are just not of abundance here, So you can actually go to those places and maybe your lawn care specialist or something like that. They might know some places that you could get some of that stuff, and that stuff will help keep moisture in. A straw, any time of grass, even if your yard clippings, you can take your yard clippings and lay them out. What you want to do though, if you're laying them on your grass and they're fresh, like if you're using grass and it's fresh, you want to lay it thin enough so that it doesn't like start that stinchy, nasty smell. You need to just lay it thin enough. And then when it dries and dries out, then you can get it thicker and you can lay more on top of it. And that's how you kind of start those mulch layers when they're living, because you don't want necessarily put that on and have it start getting that nasty putrefaction smell on your garden. Drake?
I'm with you. I'm rolling along.
Drake looks out of it today. Oh, that's funny.
No, thinking about as soon as we start getting into the garden chat, it's almost to go into another world, right? Because I'm ready. I was thinking about, I guess I was doing a little bit of mental exploration.
Daydreaming.
Cover crop, out there, and the companion plants out there, and thinking about the mulch levels. And I mean, even the chat with putrefaction, not everyone, there's a lot of people that are on the or in the belief that it's not necessarily a good thing at all, and it only leads to negative results. And we're finding that's not the case at all. Not necessarily putrefaction specifically, but just anaerobic fermentation and stuff in general is correlating to some really happy plants right now, and not just cannabis, all across the board. And providing that to a couple trees that weren't too happy, from pines to maples, and one's pine and maple growing right within 5 feet of each other, and both of them are doing better. So it's really nice to see.
Yeah, that was a big bump. I didn't let that go to waste. That was a good one. Woo! Welcome, Greg. Welcome. How are you today? Hope you're puffing tough today.
That infused honey sounds like the flower infused honey Michelle or Gingerbug was speaking of sounds great.
Yeah, and by the way, if you live in Canada, we have a gentleman that is one of our friends in chat that, gentleman, not a gentleman, but we have someone in chat that is, I won't say male or female, maybe they don't want to be known as male or female. Gotta be careful. We have someone in chat, one of our friends in chat, has honeybees, and they are in Canada. They cannot ship to the States. They cannot ship outside the States. But if you're in Canada, you could definitely help this person out by supporting them and getting some of your local Canadian honey. And you can contact us and let us know when we can hook you. Maybe we'll have them on and they'll come chat and talk about their honey. That'd be really cool. You top dress all the potted veggies. Nice. Yeah, that top dressing is so important. Like, oh man, it's amazing what it does to just sterile, nasty ground when you just start putting stuff on it and laying stuff on it. Yeah, it's just amazing what things will grow, because the amount of stuff that I've gotten to grow out here on my rocks, on the desert rock basalt, is just crazy. I'm going to take you guys on a garden tour later when everything gets growing and I get everything cleaned up out there. You'll get to see it, and when the plants get bigger, I'm looking forward to being able to do that. Waiting for it to rain. Well, I hope it rains too. Red River was saying he was getting some rain in Texas. I know that was good.
Yeah, I think Gingerbug mentioned at the beginning there. We just didn't get to it.
Or not
We're having
Texas,
a ton
Oklahoma.
of rain.
Oklahoma, not Texas. I don't know. I can't remember.
Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but I'll take your word on it.
What's up, Greg? Hello. Are you in Hawaii? Do you live in Hawaii? Oh, I'm so jealous. I want to go to Hawaii. What part? I would love to visit Hawaii someday.
Cloudy, 70 degrees.
That is somewhere I want to visit. And I could go there. I don't know. Can you fly now if you don't have a vaccine? I don't know. Maybe we should talk about that. Yeah, we'll go there. Cook on the hot rock. Oh, someone said they had a frying pan out, a skillet, and they were cooking bacon. You should try it, Drake.
Oh, there's definitely a lot of people around here have been doing that just for.
I could have put it on my back patio yesterday, and it would
guaranteed. Yeah, 120. Yeah. Oh, and especially if you got it in direct sun and like the concrete is unbearable for my feet out to my door. So everyone keep that in mind for your pets around here. You got to be careful because like it is scorching. So I could probably cook an egg on the damn concrete down near. Don't even need the pan.
Greg says if the plants are overheating, cure, flood the floor of the greenhouse with cold water. Exactly. Our back patio, like I said, was 120. So I put the sprinkler on out back there, and I have this one of those the green one, the sprinkler where the little metal rod goes across here and it goes like this and it squirts way up high. That one. So I had that squirting and it was going on my back patio. We have like a back covered area.
Yeah.
And it was squirting on that, and then it was falling down onto the concrete and then into the I have like a water creek there, and it was flowing back in there, and it cooled it down to like it was like 98 degrees.
Oh, that's compared to 120 on the other side.
It was at 120 earlier that day, and I got down to 98 degrees. It was amazing. So just using lots of water. Unfortunately, there are some places that have some water shortages right now.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. We have to be very mindful here. So that's another reason I've been so happy that even with these extreme heats in the high 40s, that the plants in the area that has been treated properly, that's kind of built in a more, it's not followed the proper principles of Hugel necessarily, but it's a Hugel style-esque kind of build. And then it's just been given the foundational treatments and all these jam prep work. It's just crazy how it's not requiring water, even compared to I have a separate pile of some like large piles of soil, but the potatoes and some of the plants in there are not nearly as happy, and they're needing to be supplemented with water. I try and do it before the sun gets too hot, because hitting them with cold water can definitely be another shock. But if your plants are withering up and dying, that's probably better than just letting them go. It can definitely, it's crazy how fast it can bring the life back into them sometimes when they look like they're just completely far gone. So
yeah, it's amazing how fast they'll bounce back.
Yeah, it's all about the root zone. If they only have a small root zone and it doesn't go too deep, and that if you can put use yourself as an example, put your finger into that soil, and if it's super dry right down to where you think those roots are going to go, then there's a reason the plant is looking the way it does. It's most likely just completely dried out, and maybe in like something like the soil in the top layer that I grabbed yesterday was the same thing. It was like 40 degrees, even though it was still part of the earth in general. So
I have one plant out there that's really struggling, and I think it's getting overwatered. So I'm not watering it. It won't get watered all day today. We'll see what it does in the next 2 days, because I think I'm overwatering.
Well, you'll find out within a couple of days. I'm sure it'll find out quick enough.
We'll definitely find out.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, what do you say we dab one all out together, puff one out, smoke them if you got them, whatever your vice is, medicine, as I would like to call it, my mood changer, marriage saver. Let's go with lemon s'mores.
Don't generally use lemon s'mores. That sounds fantastic. I'm not sure what I'm going to jump in on last. That last tab. brought me down and then took me right back up again. So we'll go in on one more.
Beta caryophyllene, D-limonene, alpha humulene, linalool, beta pinene. See, if you guys notice with all of these, they really don't change a lot. There's always beta caryophyllene in there. Linalools, I really like linalool. When I find that there's not linalool in there, it's not one of my favorites. I have kind of found that out through this company. Could change. I don't know. We'll see.
And as we know from other friends, you never like there's so many variations with the testing and the standards and the labs and what they're using and what they can account for. So there's that angle too. What I was trying to spit out is no, we don't usually use too much shade cloth here, but it's definitely going to become more of a well, I mean, I shouldn't say I don't necessarily. It's definitely used a fair amount, but with a lot of the crops this year that are suffering horribly, they're going to have to figure something out to accommodate for this because it's just too much. It's too hot and it's taking crops down. Heard even in Vancouver, the raspberries aren't doing very well.
There are lots of places that do use shade cloths. If you look through the orchards and the vineyards, or I don't know if vineyards do, the orchards do. They're all around here. We drive around and there's orchards with those big white shade cloths. I'm like, holy shit, that's quite the investment if you think about that over the acres of trees.
Yeah, it'd be pretty neat if we could just grow certain crops in between the season and change practices a little bit so we could avoid all that and have happy plants. But wait, there's a way.
All right.
It'll be fun to explore with this more on larger scales and just keep going and going. But it's definitely been done already, just not so much in this western side. But yeah. Dabs up. I'm ready to jump in.
Dabs up. Cheers, everybody. I hope you have an amazing, happy, high, and elevated Wednesday out there. And stay safe in this heat.
Yeah, this is going to be nice. This is a little medley of the Ghost Train and the Gelato. Ghost Train Gelato. Made it on the spot. My goodness. Hope everyone else is nice and medicated. Woo, at least happy.
Oh, that was good.
And you're going to be taking off soon and heading out to the lake and meet up with Cassie. That's super cool.
Look for some pictures, possibly alive. Maybe I'll do it on if we have reception, we might go live for a little bit, at least for a puff. Be cool to do a 420 today. I don't know what time we'll be there though, so I don't want to promise you. It'd be cool to do maybe a live, maybe on Instagram or over here on YouTube. So maybe look for that today. We might be out on the pontoons. We're going to be getting wet because it's hot. And I hope you all have an amazing day today. I hope you get out and you enjoy some of the sunshine if you can. If it's too hot, stay inside and meditate. Have fun. Plant indoors. Grow some weed. Because that's what we want you to do. Right, Drake? Plant a seed and overgrow.
I like that. There we go. Plant a bunch of seeds and overgrow. Even better.
All right, y'all. Drake, any final words?
Well, thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. As always, it helps so we can keep getting the word out, even when it's just fun morning little get-togethers and session to keep the rapport up. So everyone have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at. And as Tara said, plant a seed, maybe even two.
Hell yeah. Thanks, everybody. I always love talking to you. It always starts off my day so awesome. That's why I love these in the morning. The morning sesh. We will be back in Saturday around 9-ish, hopefully, a.m. Pacific. See you again. Have a wonderful day. Peace and love always. Bye. Cheers.